Aloud Global. Today we are reading chapter 1 of Cursed to Love a Witch by author CG. It is a story of romance, betrayal, and powers you won't believe. If you love witch stories with emotional twists, make sure to subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell so that whenever I post, you get notified on time. So let's get into it. This is chapter 1 of our story. Tanya. Today I will use your blood to wash my body, I said coldly, my voice echoing through the ritual ground. And your bones will become my flute. How dare you harm my friend, you wicked human. Dark energy surged through me as my anger bent out of control. I began chanting, my voice summoning the demons that obeyed my call. Shadows twisted at my feet. Eager, hungry, I wanted him to die slowly, painfully. I wanted to watch fear drain from his eyes as my nails sank into his throat. My godmother stepped forward, her voice sharp with warning. She said the man could be useful, that we could turn him into one of our servants instead of killing him. I ignored her. Mercy had never served me. Why should it serve him? The man knelt before me, his head bowed in silence as I raged. He did not beg, he did not scream. That alone enraged me more. With one long blackened nail, I lifted his chin. Look at me, I commanded. Slowly, he raised his eyes. My breath caught. Dark magic had already claimed me. My eyes were fully black, a sign that the demons had answered my call. Humans usually trembled at the sight. Some fainted. Others died of fear before I even touched them. But this man did not even flinch. Instead, a strange heat rushed through my body. My heart pounded violently against my ribs. Weakness flooded my limbs, sudden and terrifying. I turned away at once. What was happening to me? I was dangerous, feared, ruthless, and yet I was shaking. Who was this man? Whoever he was, the power coiled within him felt deep, darker than mine, older, restrained by force of will. For the first time in many years, fear crawled beneath my skin. Human blood had long been my feast. Watching it flow through my fingers brought me pleasure. Cruelty became my name, and I embraced it without hesitation. I did not harm the innocent. That was my rule. But I never befriended them either. I despised pity and love. I had sworn never to feel it, because love had never shown me mercy. At 5 years old, I learned what hunger truly meant. I survived on crumbs that fell beneath the dining table where my uncle and his family ate their fill. I hid under the table every day, silent, waiting for food to drop. Mara, my cousin, my age, knew exactly where I was. She would soak the leftover food in the dirty water they used to wash their hands, then toss it down to me with a cruel smile. I ate it anyway. Hunger does not care about dignity. Mara attended an expensive school. I became their servant. They starved me, ignored me, and pretended I did not exist. My bed was an old doghouse once owned by Bella, their pet. When Bella was given a new one, they gave the broken shelter to me. That was where I slept, cold, alone, and unwanted. Every night at 11, after finishing my chores, I cried quietly beneath the stars. I begged them to carry a message to my parents. I asked them to take me to the land of the dead, anywhere but there. Sometimes I watched Mara laughing on the swing as her parents pushed her higher. I smiled through my pain, imagining my own parents doing the same. That dream never lasted. A slap would tear it apart. My aunt's voice would follow, ordering me back to work. The day I turned 8, my life ended. I woke early to prepare breakfast for young Madam Mara. She watched me closely, her eyes filled with malice. When no one was looking, she poured hot tea on her own thigh and screamed. They never asked the truth. They beat me until my bones screamed and my legs snapped beneath the blows. When I stopped moving, they decided I was dead. They shoved my body into a sack. Through the darkness, I heard my uncle arguing with his wife. He blamed her for beating me too hard. Now my inheritance would be difficult to claim, my aunt answered calmly. They would throw me into the dam. Crocodiles would erase all evidence. Mara would take my place. When she turned 18, she would inherit everything my parents left behind. I was never family. I was a key. The sack opened. Cold air rushed in. Then I was falling. Water swallowed me whole, stealing my breath, dragging me into darkness. And as the child drowned, the witch was born. Chapter 2. Welcome to the Black Covenant, my child. I slowly opened my eyes, but I could not see clearly as the rays of the sun touched my face. After a few minutes, my vision cleared, and I saw myself laying on an animal skin mat, surrounded by mysterious men and women, chanting in tones that I could not understand. My head was spinning. Then I remembered my uncle and aunt throwing me in the dam. As I sank down, I remembered the sack I was shoved in being torn apart by the crocodiles. After that, I felt as if the world had swallowed me. How did I survive that calamity? I was sure I was dead. How come I was alive without even a scar? I once heard that in the land of the dead you feel no pain. I smiled, thinking my prayer had been answered. Now I could meet my parents in the land of the dead. My child, I saved you under the water. I heard your screams and suffering. Your voice echoed in my ears, and I used my black magic to take you from the mouths of the water beasts. I jumped from my thoughts and asked the lady if I was in the land of the dead. I also wanted to know who she was. The woman laughed, but that laugh sent a cold chill through my body. It was terrifying. She told me that she saved me and that I had been reborn to become a great witch. She introduced herself as the queen of the witches, but she also said I must call her my godmother because I had found favor in her eyes. Everything was confusing. What did she mean that I was reborn to become a great witch? And where on earth was this place where I was being kept? After a few days of resting, one night I woke up from the hut where I had been sleeping. I went outside and took a few steps towards a big baobab tree where I heard people singing and chanting around a fire. As I drew closer, I panicked at what my eyes witnessed. There were two men surrounded by those witches. I saw my godmother holding a black dagger designed with strange carvings. She stabbed one of the men, drew his blood, and filled a clay pot. After that, she drank the blood without hesitation. Then she used her dagger again to cut the man's chest. I saw her long black nails sink into his chest, and she pulled out his heart. I could not bear it anymore. I covered my face with my palms. With the little strength I had left, I carried myself back to the hut. My heart was pounding, and I even started to vomit. I cleaned myself and lay down on the mat. That night, I did not sleep. The vision of those two men kept appearing in my mind. I asked myself who the next person to be slaughtered mercilessly would be. Would it be me? I promised myself that tomorrow I would escape from that place of wicked witches, but how? I did not even know where I was. Another question haunted my mind. Why did they save me if they knew that I would become their meal? In the morning, the queen came to me and told me that I was supposed to join their covenant. She said that if I joined them, I would gain the power to revenge on the people who killed my parents and abused me. For a moment, the thought of revenge made me happy. Then the memory of the previous night flashed in my mind. I told myself that I would never stay in that terrifying place. I had to escape before it was too late. During the day, some of the witches accompanied my godmother to hunt witches, as they called it. Earlier that morning, I had lied to my godmother and told her that I would join the covenant. She told me that at night I would perform the rituals. After she left for the hunt, I got my chance to escape. Luckily, I found my way back to my town, but this time I did not go straight to my enemies. Instead, I went to the palace to report everything that had happened to the king. That was the end of chapter 2. May you please subscribe, comment, like and hit that notification bell, and let's meet again in the next chapter, which is tomorrow. Thank you for listening till the end. Bye.